Hey, are you like overwhelmed, not knowing how to eat healthy and where to start? I've got you covered. I'm 11 years a plant eater and I'm all about organization and making things easier. I put out a video every Monday morning at 7:30 and I address everything from how to do food prep, which is what the video is I'm about to do now, to how to handle the transition from a standard North American diet to a plant-based diet, the emotional aspect of it, and even lots of tips and tricks about life as a plant eater. So join me. You can subscribe at shellypeters.com, and I can't wait to visit you in your inbox every Monday morning so I can inspire you to have the best possible week. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Shelly Peters. This is the place to embrace the plant-based life. Today I want to talk to you about my Sunday prep, what I do to prepare for a healthy breakfast all week long and a healthy lunch and a healthy dinner. So let's get started. If any of you follow me, you know that my Sunday prep is precious to me. If I don't get an hour or two in every Sunday where I can create some meals that I can have in my fridge for quick access, my week just doesn't go as well. I'm busy like the rest of us. I'm making YouTube videos for you guys. I work out. I have lots of hobbies that I follow. So as much as I love cooking, I want to make sure in a pinch I can grab dinner, breakfast, lunch out of the fridge in a snap. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you how to make is an easy breakfast that you can grab and go with. And it's outstanding. Of course, it's based on oats because I believe you should be eating oats every single morning. I do. And of course, there are lots and lots of ways to eat oats. You can eat warm oats. You can eat cold, muesli, mason jar muesli, where you soak the oats for long periods of time in a nut milk. This particular oat jar I'm going to show you how to make today is my favorite, and it's using raw oats. It's the raw oat jar that I'm going to make. So let's get started. First of all, I want you to use large flake oats. I buy them at the Bulk Barn because it's the best possible price. And you can have a container easily available. What I do to make my oat bowls, it's a gorgeous day, so I get to do this outside today. But normally I have all my oat bowl and oat jar ingredients within close proximity, so it's really easy. On Sunday, boom, 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 it's all done. My cousin Adam and I just got back from PEI last weekend, and he made the oat jars in a snap. He just grabbed the ingredients. I was cleaning out the fridge because my son was left here and it was a bit of a mess. So even he said, wow, that was easy. And it is. You just have to get a little bit organized. Give yourself a chance to get used to the routine, and you will be so grateful because you will literally open the fridge in the morning and there is your breakfast sitting there waiting. And it is the most nutritious thing you can do to start your day with oats. So I use 1/3 cup of oats per jar. And that's considered one serving. But you know what? If you're super busy and active, and maybe you need more, maybe you need 1/2 cup. So judge, based on your activity level, maybe you only need 1/4 cup because you're not a big breakfast eater and you want to start out with something. I start my day with a banana before I do my morning workout. And then after my workout, this is what I grab. I grab my oat bowl. I also always include 1 tablespoon of flax, ground flax. It's recommended that we have 1 tablespoon a day. So boom, that goes in there. Super easy. Again, I buy this at the Bulk Barn. If you're in a real pinch, buy the already ground flax. You can also buy the flax seeds and grind them yourself. Nutritionally, it might be a tiny bit better to do the grinding fresh, maybe once every couple of weeks, and keep your nut, your flax, ground flax, or your flax seeds in the refrigerator because it's best to keep them there so that they stay in good condition. They remain fresh. Now, the other thing I eat every day are blueberries. And what I do is I just pop the blueberries on top. These are frozen. If you have fresh, great, use fresh. I use frozen so that I can have lots in my freezer and I don't have to worry about whether or not they're going bad, and I've got a really good stock on hand. I also like a couple of raspberries in there. I love the flavor combo. I like the tartness of the raspberries, so that's kind of what I do. And the recommended amount of berries per day specifically is half a cup. So that's what I do. I put a half a cup in each bowl, and that works out perfectly. You know what? If you're not a blueberry fan, choose your favorite fruit. I hope you can find a berry you like, because it's important that you get a 2-cup serving of berries per day, as per Dr. Michael Greger's recommendations in his How Not to Die book. Okay, so I'm going to put all these in. I'm making a little bit of a mess, but that's because I'm trying to get it done within a reasonable amount of time so you're not waiting. And there we go. And then I just pop in a couple of raspberries just because, as I said, I like that little pop of tartness. Great. Then comes the sweetener, and I use date paste. How do you make date paste? You soak 1 cup of pitted dates. Medjool are the best. They're the sweetest and they're the most delicious. If you can't get them, don't worry about it. Use whatever dates you can get, and it's the same recipe. So make sure you take the pits out. I buy Medjool dates, again, from the Bulk Barn. They're the best price. And I take the pits out, and then I soak 1 cup of dates in 1 cup of boiling water. You know what? If you're in a pinch, soak them for 15 minutes. If you can, leave them a little longer. I typically do it at the beginning of my prep time on Sundays, and then by the end, I literally just blend it in my blender. If you like, you can add a squeeze of lemon, because it just pops the flavor a little bit too. Depends on whether I'm making my blended lemon that week that I learned how to make from the How Not to Die cookbook. So what I do is, this again is going to be based on taste. I don't measure this super accurately, but I put in, a decent tablespoon from my cutlery drawer. I just put that on top, and that's how I sweeten it. Now you can use maple syrup, you can use agave. You know what I love about dates? They're adding even more fiber to my breakfast. And you know me, I love fiber. It's incredibly important for your digestion, for you to maintain regularity, of course, and also it fills you up. And I want the most nutrient-dense calories in my mouth at every moment. I want to make sure whatever I'm putting in my mouth is nutrient-dense, and the more fiber, the more full I'm going to be for less calories. So that's kind of my thinking. So look how gorgeous they are. They're just gorgeous, and they're easy. I'm going to pop the lids on these, and I happen to use oat milk most of the time, but you can use whatever nut milk you prefer. I add the nut milk in the morning when I'm about to eat it. And you know what, again, personal preference. Do you want to have it a little bit more liquidy, so you add more nut milk, or you want less? You'll figure it out as you go along. But I add the nut milk at the last minute, just before I eat it. So they're going to stay in the fridge just like this, in sort of a dry form. Anyway, today I've made 6 of them. They'll last really, really well. Make sure if you're using fresh fruit that you're using fruit that is in fact really fresh. Don't put second-rate fruit in there, because by the 5th or 6th day, it's not going to be very pleasant. So that's it. These are my oat jars. You can do the same thing with cooked oats. You can put them in each individual jar, and look, you've got it all done, depending on what you like. If you haven't tried the raw oats yet, I encourage you to. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, it's amazing. So that's breakfast. Let's move on to lunch. Okay, let's get started with my salad bowl that I make in advance. I used to just do a salad bin, which I do still periodically. It just depends on how the week is going. Now I'm doing something where I actually have a container I found at Bed Bath & Beyond, and it is called Snap Lock. And this is what it looks like. It has a little bowl, it has an insert in the top, it has a little spot for your dressing with a lid, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and it's got a really nice snap lid that will keep everything safe. So I am going to be creating 5 of these for this week, and I'll show you what I do. I eat a salad every single day for a reason, because I want to get as many greens in as possible, and this is a perfect way to guarantee that I'm not making the decision to have a veggie burger or to have something else that doesn't have the greens in it that I really want to make sure I have by the end of the day. So I do the oat bowl in the morning, so I know I got my oats and my blueberries in, and every day at lunch I have a salad. If there are extenuating circumstances and I don't get my salad at lunch, I do it at dinner. So it's just a way that I don't have to make those ad hoc decisions. I know that I've got a habit formed that is going to really do well for my health. So let's get started. I happen to be using romaine today, but I most often use kale with it. I actually have kale in the fridge and I forgot to prepare it for this, but I would definitely add kale to it. Kale's amazing. So I will soak my greens, whatever they are, kale, romaine, arugula, whatever greens that you love, soak them for about 30 minutes so you can rehydrate them, and then spin them dry, and then you've got the greens that you can work with to create your bowls or to put in your salad bin, whichever one you choose to do. So I'll start with this, and I'll fill the bottom with 2 cups of salad greens, because that's really what I want to get in a day. I'm going to add to that a little handful of sprouts. Sprouts are just a fabulous green. They're super nutritious, really delicious, and they really add to a salad. So I will add sprouts to the bottom as well. And now I've put in my little insert and I'm ready to add what I want. I will often have roasted veg, all kinds, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, honestly, you name it. And today I have I've actually made sweet potatoes, and sweet potatoes will also be added to this bowl, but I'll show you what else I'm adding. I'm going to add regular potatoes, and I'm adding a section of chickpeas, because getting your beans every day is a really great idea. And I love onions with my salad, so I've got all of it filled. I'm going to add the sweet potatoes in when I finish this video, because they're just steaming in my pressure cooker. And for the dressing, obviously make a healthy dressing. That's a really big part of it. You want to do a no added oil dressing if possible. I have a great tahini dressing on my website that you can use. And this is a great little container because it really limits the amount you're going to have to put on. I'm recently challenging myself to just put a really cool vinegar on my dressing. You don't have to go this far, but I love challenging myself to really experiment with changing my taste buds. I know how far I've come just by being a plant eater in the last 11 years. So I've started this week, actually it's been about the 2nd week now that I'm doing just vinegar on my salad. I have a white balsamic vinegar, and you can get ones that contain all kinds of cool things. This is a balsamic maple. There's some really good quality vinegars out there. I encourage you to give it a try and see. So I'm going to fill that up, and that's really good on potatoes as well. It really boosts the flavor. And I've got my vinegar there, or in your case, if you want to use a salad dressing of your choice, you'd fill that up, put it in, and then we've got the lid that snaps closed. And that's it. You've got your salad for the week. So I'm going to finish these up, all 5 of them. So my lunch is ready in a snap, and I can empty that this top little insert portion right into the salad, pour on my dressing, and move it around with a fork, and I'm good to go. So simple and easy. Of course, tomatoes are awesome too. So don't forget, be adventurous, add interesting things. I love sweet potatoes in my salad too, because they're a little sweet and they give me tons of really good complex carbs. Because I'm so busy and active, it keeps me going. The other thing you can add into your salad are grains. You know, I'm a big quinoa fan, so you'll often see I'll have quinoa on my salad. I will take one of these sections and fill it with quinoa, and that goes into my salad as well. Just gives you a little more complex carb, a little more energy, and it's all good. So go ahead and try making your own salad bowls in whatever container you can. This happens to work really well. This is called Snap Lock, and yeah, so that's it. Let's do dinner now. Hello, and here I am. I have finished preparing my dinner. I made the Oshiglo's lentil loaf. You can see in these front containers, and the back are the black bean. It's like a black bean mixture with some really fabulous cumin and smoked paprika, and it's just really yummy. That's quinoa you see in the front with sweet potato, and that's actually a mashed potato that I did with, I creamed it up using a masher with some veg stock, and it's super delish, nicely seasoned, but without any fat. So that's cool. And then of course there's some Brussels sprouts and more sweet potato in the back. And yeah, so I'm gonna cover these guys up, and that will be my dinners for the week. And the leftovers, which I have leftover lentil loaf, and I have leftover black beans. They will go in the freezer for weeks that I am unable to spend the time doing this, and I will have some really cool dinners. So there you go. All done for the weekend. All the meals are planned and prepared. I put out a video every Monday morning at 7:30, and I address everything from how to do food prep, which is what the video is I'm about to do now, to how to handle the transition from a standard North American diet to a plant-based diet, the emotional aspect of it, and even lots of tips and tricks about life as a plant eater. So join me. You can subscribe at shellypeters.com, and I can't wait to visit you in your inbox every Monday morning so I can inspire you to have the best possible week. Take care and hope to see you soon.